The Internet and Online Services. Introduction. The Internet. A vast global network of computers with information and resources on virtually every subject. Whether you are a student doing research for a class project or a professional gathering information on a client or competitor, the Internet can help you with your task. Do I have to be a computer geek to use the Internet?
The past few years, you probably know all about the Internet, right? CD-ROM technology and, in general, navigating your computer. At least you can talk about it. But we suspect some people are faking it. Know about it, talk about it, sure, but might not be able to apply it. CBS News correspondent Paul Ozon talked with an expert in that field.
I mean, as a guy who likes computers, I have to say this is the most exciting thing I've ever seen.
We invited Dave Barry to talk about the world of cyberspace in the CBS News Computer Graphics Lab, a place where this veteran of the man versus computer wars reminisced about the first personal computer he ever owned.
Couldn't do anything. It took me several days just to learn how to turn it on, and I never got it to do anything except count. I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which actually I could do myself manually.
Over the years, he has used low-tech typewriters and then computers to write a dozen books and a nationally syndicated column, exploring the absurdities of American life, from politics to the gender gap, and now, in his latest book, The Computer Revolution.
How many hours a day do you spend behind a computer?
Well, I probably spend 7, 8 hours a day in front of my computer, which is broken down in maybe 20 to 23 seconds actually working, and then, 7, 8 hours playing various games and checking to see if I have any mail yet.
So, I guess the question I have for you now is, why did you decide to write this book?
I decided to write it because there's been a lot of serious talk about the Internet, and a lot of people are nervous about it, and they view it as this big, confusing, very hard to understand thing. And I wrote this book to show people that it is, in fact, a big, confusing, hard to understand thing. But, on the other hand, it's not a very important thing.
Okay, before we go any further.
Yeah, what is a website?
Who establishes the website?
I don't know. And no one really, I mean, everybody says, do you have a website yet? I'm really not sure. I think it's a bunch of basically 14-year-old children who do these things. They're all like this. You get on them and you go, huh, that's my reaction to most websites. This is one of my personal favorites. This is a website devoted to pictures of people with their toasters. Wait a minute. See, it moves kind of slow. A lot of people think that the Internet moves at the speed of light. It actually moves more at the speed of the Department of Motor Vehicles.
There are a lot of people in the country who can't afford computers. Are they being left behind by not having computers now?
Yeah, I would say that those people, and I feel very sorry for them, people who don't have a computer, are probably, even as we speak, reading books and things like that, and therefore falling way, way behind the rest of us who are using that same time to develop our solitaire skills, our anti-ballistic missile skills, chatting skills, the things that are making us the cyber citizens that are going to take this great country of ours right down the toilet in the future. I'm proud to be part of that, and I hope everyone else can be too.
Okay, that said, if you think the Internet is confusing, you probably ought to avoid the video store, a place where even the most computer savvy of us can get lost. So many movies, so much trouble finding one you want to watch. It happens to me all the time. If you're in that category, or even if you have no trouble navigating the aisles of the video store, there are some new CD-ROMs that you might want to check out. The latest computer movie guides are bigger and better than ever, and they're the topic of this morning's UTTM CD-ROM rating.
There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur or sharpen it to crystal clarity. Over this station, we will bring you the awe and mystery of modern science, which reaches from the inner mind to the outer limits. The outer limits.
Good idea. Hey, I'm on my way. The T-Mobile Sidekick. Unlimited servers for $30.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows.
A generation of Americans grew up listening to this 1935 Zenith radio. It might still be around and still working because it was built to keep on working a long, long time. So is this 1949 Zenith TV. To a lot of people, it became an old friend you could depend on. That's why it stayed around for so many years. Today, the people at Zenith still believe in bringing you products that are worth the money you spend for them. Products you can enjoy listening to and looking at for a long, long time. You see, we want to keep the promise we began making in 1927. At Zenith, the quality goes in before the name goes on.
You're watching Sleepcore. Pleasant dreams.
We are the most mobile nation in the world, over a highway system which is the most modern in existence. But cars can be built faster than the highways to take care of them. Wheels are rolling in all directions, and they're all headed for the biggest traffic jam since the wheel was invented. Where does the harassed commuter go from here? Let's take a look ahead and see what the commuter can hope for in the future. Traffic engineers agree that a monorail system could well be an answer to growing traffic congestion. In large cities where land is at a premium, an aerial monorail system needs only a narrow beamway supported by pylons. The accent is on economy. With the advent of such highways in the sky, the weary commuter will find himself traveling in speed, comfort, and safety. Tomorrow's living areas will expand as the beamways of modern monorail systems begin to crisscross metropolitan centers. But when is tomorrow? In Disneyland, a monorail system is being put into operation, and the future in transportation can be enjoyed today.
And here comes the Disneyland Alweg monorail coach for its first official run, pulling up to the loading platform where the dedication ceremonies will take place, and the ribbon across the track will be officially clipped. Everyone here on the loading platform, dignitaries, celebrities, and special guests are cheering as the monorail pulls in. And now, there is Vice President Nixon waiting. This is your spot, Walt. Take it away.
To open the first operative monorail system in America, it is our good fortune to have our friend and fellow Californian, the Vice President of the United States, Mr. Richard Nixon, and his charming family, Mrs. Pat Nixon, Julia, and Patricia, his daughters. Mr. Nixon, our Vice President.
Well, thank you very much, Walt. I want to say that this has really been one of the most exciting and interesting days that I've ever had in my life. And I'm sure that's true of all the others who are here at Disneyland to participate in these various ceremonies opening these wonderful new exhibits which we have here. I think you'll be interested to know, and I know that our television and radio listeners will be interested to know, that when my wife and I were planning this trip and talking it over with our two daughters, we asked them what they wanted to do most when they came to California. And they said, we want to see our grandmother and go to Disneyland. Now, I can tell you, however, that that is not only the case with regard to young people all over the country, but it's true of the dignitaries who come to Washington from other lands. I remember President Sukarno also wanted to come to Disneyland and has been here, as you know. The King of Belgium, the King of Morocco. From all over the world, people, whether they're adults or children, want to come to Disneyland to see America, the past, the present, and the future. And so, consequently, I just want to take this opportunity to say what a fine job we think Disneyland has been doing in letting all of us, for a brief few hours, have an interlude in our rather busy lives and to participate in a feeling about the traditions, the dreams, the hopes of this great country of ours. Now, of course, comes the time for the dedication, and although you and I, the adults up here, are probably just as interested in riding in this as the children, since this first monorail system is a system for the future, and since, of course, Disneyland is a place which children love above everybody else, I think it would be nice if our two daughters, Patricia and Julie, would cut this ribbon. And if they would like to do that, we'll step back and let them do the job.
Get right over here, children, and we'll have the scissors. Pat, won't you come up here and join with this? Here, children. Now, you know how to cut a ribbon, don't you? Huh? Go right up there. And let her go. Well, turn a little bit on the side. Hey.
The train is moving now into place for loading for the first official ride, and there comes Bob Cummings and Mary Cummings and their family of 3 or 4, or maybe all 5 of them are out here today. I see back there with a straw skimmer, Fred McMurray, June Haver, and their families, Mrs. Linkletter and my brood of little Links are all climbing in for their first ride. There's my big son, Robert, my little girl, Diane, and a great many others. There they go. There's the nose, the tail end of the coach. It rolls on inflated rubber tires on this highway in the sky. The whole thing is controlled by the most modern electronic signal system, and it rides around over the Autopia and then across its own track and over the actual lagoon where the submarines are going in and out, or are preparing to. Isn't that a beautiful overhead shot? There it is, the first monorail in America. High over Tomorrowland, cruising over the motorboat ride, over some more of the Autopias filled with youngsters riding their miniature cars. That's the monorail, a long step forward into the future. Today, you're seeing America's first scheduled monorail system in operation. Soon, others will follow, heralding the day when such rapid transit systems will relieve America's crowded streets.
You're watching Sleepcore, media for insomnia.
I'm Jim Ennis, Chief Meteorologist at WWJ-TV. You probably know by now all your local TV stations are going digital this coming February. Now, to help you be sure that your TVs are ready, we've gotten together to create Test Your TV Tuesday. Here's how it works. Every Tuesday, all your local stations will run a test on the air at the same time that will tell you if your sets are okay or if you need to make some adjustments. Now, if your TV isn't ready, I'll tell you where you can go for help. So next time, you'll pass the test with flying colors. So turn on all the TVs in your house right now. That's right. Turn them all on and see if you're ready. Now remember, this is only a test.
This TV is ready for the digital transition on February 17, 2009. Please check every other TV in your home now. No further action is needed for this TV set. This TV is ready for the digital transition on February 17, 2009. Please check every other TV in your home now. No further action is needed for this TV set. This TV is ready for the digital transition on February 17, 2009. Please check every other TV in your home now. No further action is needed for this TV set. This TV is ready for the digital transition on February 17, 2009. Please check every other TV in your home now. No further action is needed for this TV set. This TV is ready for the digital transition on February 17, 2009. Please check every other TV in your home now. No further action is needed for this TV set.
Well, how did your TVs do? If you saw a green slide, the TV you were watching passed the test. But if you saw a red slide, your TV is not ready. But here's the catch with the red slide. If you have cable or satellite, you don't have to do anything. But if you don't have cable or satellite and you saw a red slide, you either need to purchase a new TV with a digital tuner in it or get a converter box with an antenna that will allow your old TV to work. If you have further questions, call the Michigan DTV helpline at 1-888-DTV-2572. That's 1-888-388-2572. Or log on to MichiganDTV.com. I'm Jim Mattis. Thanks for watching. We will now return to The Simpsons here on CW50.
Tells the story, all right. Thousands and thousands of telephones to be made and all kinds of materials needed to make them. Copper, nickel, cotton, gold, silver. And from where? It's a tough job.
It ain't so tough.
That's what you think. Where did you come from?
Oh, I've been around. I know an easy way to get materials and make telephones.
You and what army?
Don't need an army. Just a little imagination. Watch. What's so funny? I got what I went after, didn't I? See? Here's copper, nickel, wax, lead, cotton, and all the others that you need.
Well, that certainly does require imagination. But how on earth are you going to make 433 telephone parts from those paper labels?
Still skeptical, eh? Okay, mister, help me clear the deck for action, and I'll show you.
Silly idea. But maybe I'd better humor this little fella. No telling what he'll do next.
I'll show 'em.
Well, so far so good. But your job is only half done. You still haven't got a telephone.
Mister, haven't you got any imagination? Must I do it all? Take over, Ringer. It's your move. Music, maestro, please.
Nice going, nice going. But, what about the chords?
The chords? Oh, yeah, the chords. Hey, Ringer, how about the chords? What did I tell you? It ain't so tough.
Yes, but your way of doing it won't help us. Imagine making telephones out of paper labels. Why, that's movie stuff.
You're not fooling, boss. That's the only place it is easy. In the movie. This is the end, folks.
You're watching Sleepcore. Sleep tight.
I want to watch what I want, when I want. I want my own personal video player in the palm of my hand. I want Fairly Odd Parents. I want Jimmy Neutron. I want the Wild Thornberrys. I want it my way.
And on the highway. Video now. You can watch your favorite shows on your own personal video disc player.
I want my video now. I want my video now.
Discs only play on Video Now players. Players, discs, and headphones sold separately. Batteries not included. Coming now.
What happened when Sony put this color TV and full-featured VCR into this machine? They shrunk. Introducing Sony Video Walkman. It takes video out of your home and into your life.
John Jones made more than 20 million points after playing for 41 hours on a quarter. The record is nearly 26 million points, and if you want to know anything about video games, this is the man that can tell you about it, Barry Burnson. Tonight you're going to give us part 3 on his report, High Tech Rec. What is High Tech Rec?
Well, it's recreation that is high technology, you know. Video game makers believe that their products are starting to attract a whole new market. Adults, especially women, who would not have been caught dead playing pinball. The competition in this industry is so fierce the game makers won't even tell me the names of their new games, which are due out in October. But we did manage to get a glimpse into the future.
What Sam Dicker does for a living is to invent video games. He's one of the resident computer geniuses at Chicago's Williams Electronics Company. Last year, Dicker co-designed Defender, which right now is the #1 coin game in the country. Sam uses this computer for a process he calls birthing, developing new effects for games yet to be invented. The road from here to finished video game may end up costing a company $1 million. But nationwide, Defender is currently earning nearly $8 million a week.
What makes a good video game designer?
Well, you have to be a science fiction fan, you have to be a programmer, you have to be kind of an artist. We actually have to first please ourselves, and we're about the most finicky players around. We've played every game until we're bored of it. Just like a movie, you want to get lost in it. You want to forget that you're playing a game. You want to, you know, when the game's over, you want to suddenly realize that you're in the arcade.
At Mother's Pinball in Mount Prospect, companies send their prototype games to be tried out in the field. Here, players can play games not yet available anywhere else.
We watch the players, we check to see how long they play the game. They'll tell us it's too fast, it's too slow, it's too easy to play, it's too hard to play.
Then there are the pirates, companies which illegally copy a successful game, undercut prices, and get out of the market before the legitimate manufacturer can take the case to court. This is the original Pac-Man. This is a rip-off version. In this business, timing is everything for both player and marketing exec.
The life of a video game is basically 6 months to a year, depending upon the popularity of the game.
And as players roll up higher and higher scores, the video game companies will try to roll up higher and higher profits.
A new game being placed on location will always draw the player's first quarter. The secret in this industry is to get his second quarter and his third quarter and his fourth quarter and his fifth quarter.
Well, the obvious question is, of course, how long will this smashing success last for video games? Well, there are plenty of new competitors in the field, each one taking more or less of the players' 300 billion quarters a year in this country. Home video game owners will soon be able to buy their own versions of Asteroids, Galaxians, and Pac-Man. So for the video warrior, it appears the sky is the limit, and we should note finally the U.S. military is about to start using modified video games to train aircraft pilots and tank drivers.
From the noisy streets of New York to the laid-back tranquility of California, Americans are tuning out and tuning in. It's the latest fad, tiny stereo cassette players with featherweight headphones. It's caught on all over America, but nowhere as it has in New York, where more and more people are discovering that about the only space they've got is between their ears. In a manner of speaking, of course.
You know, listening to Beethoven and walking in Manhattan, you know, walking on the streets is, it's pretty nice. As opposed to hearing the sirens that are going by and the jackhammers. Yeah. It just puts you in your own world all by yourself.
It's like carrying your stereo with you, you know, on your head, and it's like...
Whether they wear pinstripes or no stripes, they're discovering that, at least musically speaking, you can take it with you. About 750,000 people nationwide are doing just that.
Everybody's buying the machines. Anyone from a wealthy executive likes to spend his weekends out in a sailboat listening to Beethoven, to the street kid listening to new wave music down in the subways.
A lot of noise and confusion down here, and it just centers me. And, you know, I've just got to go about 5 stops, but it feels good.
Is it the me generation gone wild, the height of antisocial behavior, electronic snubbery?
The rest of the world tunes out to me sometimes, so I might as well do it to them.